Some people might suggest that the former royal known as Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, alongside her husband, the former royal known as the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, are simply not very bright. I mean, they've recently been on two fake royal tours, one to Nigeria and one most recently, of course, to Colombia. And a lot of it was all about, well, shall we say, lots and lots of positive publicity, particularly when you engineer it yourself. You only allow one reporter to dish out those few bon mots to the waiting media outside. But then, of course, you finally do slip up. And this really is a huge problem. So will Harry and Meghan finally cough up? Let me explain. Morning, good to see you today. Thank you so much as ever for your time. Those beautiful flowers there in the background, still clinging on, yes. And by the way, thank you for your lovely support regarding the last night of the proms, the BBC proms, and the host, of course, Katie Durham, who, you know, if you haven't seen it, apparently another one who has a problem with our anthemic Rule Britannia. As I said before, I just find this sort of stuff incredible. If I was given such a prestigious job like that, hosting at the beautiful Royal Albert Hall, wouldn't you just think, look, it's not my opinion that matters. Let's just do the job, make sure everybody else enjoys a wonderful night of history, patriotism, and of course, just enjoyment. Why can't you keep it zipped? Clearly, these people think their opinion matters more than everybody else's. Incredible. We haven't had a wave, have we? Morning. No, sorry, I know you're slacking, aren't you? I know you dropped off. I can see you at the back, yes. Do wake up. Now, here's where, as ever, it gets interesting in the latest royal debacle. You see, as you know, it's just emerged that around about 45,000, nearly 50,000 pounds, and that really is just skimming it lightly, that the fake royal tour to Colombia cost Harry and Meghan. This was over 4 days of them just meeting people for no real inexplicable reason. Apparently the idea behind that tourism would escalate and people would make a lot of bookings. Well, checking with the tourism in Colombia, that hasn't actually been the case, but they're pessimistically hopeful. Pessimistically, I should say, get your teeth in nearly. Now, what's interesting is, yes, of course, it's raised a lot of profile. It's put the country on the map around the world. People are talking about it, but are for the right reasons. Now, the bigger problem is the government, of course, like every government around the world, are struggling with finances. And £50,000 nearly is a lot of money to dish out on speculation. But you see, Meghan and Harry, once again, have made a huge gaffe. If you remember this particular incident recently, according to the Times newspaper, Meghan likes to, you know, brand things and gets involved with smaller brands. And we told you the reason behind that on a recent video. And she likes to invest, and if she can just get that attention, all that sort of stuff. Well, here's where it gets really interesting, because the opposition party over in Colombia then will think, well, that's very nice, you know. Basically, they're looking to see how much did her visit, by using branding, influencing, whatever you want to call it, how much did it rake in, particularly for them, as ever we have to say, allegedly. And again, stupidity at its best, right? Because clearly, if that was the case, and if people were truly buying up all of those things because Meghan was wearing the earrings or the dress or the sandals, it's very good for the brand. But now, will the brand have to cough up some of the money? Or indeed, wouldn't it be more sort of magnanimous if Meghan decided to take a percentage of what perhaps allegedly she's receiving from the brand, having worn their product, you know? Perhaps 20–40% of that sent over to cover the costs of the fake royal tour. Now, as you can imagine, this has been met with deafening silence, but it's not one that's going away, because the country is truly struggling, like everywhere, as I say, around the world. And to host a fake royal tour based on the fact that that particular individual, Franny Marquez, had seen the documentary and liked them, well, it seems a bit strange and, more importantly, costly. But will the cost now deflect back to the former royals known as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex? I'll keep you posted. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.